to my live stream. Got a couple people here, a couple early birds catching on. If you want to communicate in the chat, you know what, you've got to be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes. So I do encourage you to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and give it a thumbs up if you like the content that I'm providing today. All right, so there's a lot of stuff going on around aliens and UFOs. It's definitely percolating. And there was a sighting and an incident that happened in Las Vegas. And I want to kind of just show a couple of clips around the topic, like what people are saying about the incident. And I also want to stress, because I'm going to show a few things. On my my first video that I talked about this was the Soft Taco Tuesday. It wasn't Tuesday, but the Soft Taco, Soy Taco Talk, the whistleblower show. And I kind of touched on to the fact that I theorized, I thought, well, what are some of the reasons why a government would want to keep alien technology or aircraft or spacecraft, if you will, or the fact that there are other life forms that are not human? Why would they want to cover that up? And, I just recently watched the entire interview of David Grusch and last night. And in that, when you watch it, matter of fact, I sourced it on my community page on my channel. So if you want to find a version of it, I was hearing people saying that I might have been Ben J. Porter in the UK. I think, don't quote me on this, but I was watching him cover this a little bit. And I think he said, it might have been him who said it was like it's hard to find the full interview now online. So I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. So the one that I did share on my community page is not from News Nation itself. I had trouble finding the whole interview on News Nation, although it is a News Nation interview. I found it on other people's channels, and another person who had uploaded the content to YouTube. I'm having a little bit of coffee this morning. It's morning still here in California. I woke up and I kind of looked at a few videos, and I was inspired to share them with you. So the first thing I want to start off with is the ABC report on the topic, a video that they did about the incident that happened in Las Vegas. All right, I see that Stephen Cambion is premiering a video tonight. No, 36 people are watching right now, so he's going the same time I am. So those of you who are here listening to me, hey, thanks for being here, because he kind of, I don't know, maybe we share similar audience, but hopefully, I asked Stephen he would come on my show and talk about this and give his, because I'm interested. I'm watching his take on all of this as well. And, he has agreed to coming on this weekend, that he thinks he can come on this weekend. He's very busy, but I might be able to have like an hour of an interview with Stephen Cambion on the topic. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do a share here. And again, what I want to do about this is kind of give an overview of everything. So I forgot to say that I was talking about like my last show, and I said, why would the government want to cover it up? And yeah, watching the full interview kind of answer some of those questions for myself. But then I thought maybe it's because of the reaction that we're going to have on it. Like, to acknowledge the fact that extraterrestrials do exist. Here, let me push this to here really quick and stop it. To acknowledge the fact that they do exist, kind of like, well, it questions religious beliefs. And I mentioned this movie called Contact that was way back in, I think it was either the late 80s or the early 90s, with Matthew McConaughey and Jodie Foster, right? Where they showed how the reaction of how crazy it got around the topic of aliens. And so I want you to keep in mind of that while I play some of these videos here and contemplate what's happening. So here is an ABC report about what took place in Vegas.
It's a scene straight out of the X-Files.
That's unreal. I've never seen anything like it. What are they?
A family in Las Vegas insisting something is out there after allegedly having a close encounter of the third kind.
I swear to God, this is not a joke.
One witness calling 911 after they say an object fell out of the sky and landed in their backyard.
They're like 9 foot, 10 foot tall. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes.
The mysterious object that fell from the sky, even the officers apparently saw that. The green glow of the alleged UFO is seen on this newly released body camera footage.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone saw a shooting star. Then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
So when that 911 call came in, less than an hour later, police were ready to believe it.
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
Because I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard?
But after a brief investigation of the yard, officers closed the case as unfounded.
If those 9 foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
According to former intelligence officer David Grusch, an alien crash landing isn't too far-fetched. Grusch recently turned over documents to Congress claiming the U.S. government has a vast collection of vehicles that have non-human origin. An oversight committee in Congress is in the process of scheduling a hearing on those claims.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel.
I want
If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live.
And hi, Zero Affinity. Thank you for joining my chat. Also, I want to reiterate that I'm sourcing fair use. This is a transformative work, and we are just educating the public and critiquing the video we are sharing. So I thought that was interesting that was ABC's take. Now, News Nation had a very negative report. Now, News Nation is pretty much, from what I can tell, it's the network that has broke the story on David Grusch. They are saying that it's a practical joke. So I want to play News Nation's reaction to what's taking place in Vegas. Awesome. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna share that on the screen here.
Rumors and the facts. Nick, can I just ask you off the bat, is there any concern to the fact that the family has gone radio?
Okay, let's go from the beginning. Hold on.
He knows a lot about these stories, these rumors, and the facts. Nick, can I just ask you off the bat, is there any concern to the fact that the family has gone radio silent and is actually not even traceable at this point?
I don't think there's anything sinister about that, actually. I've got to go with my gut with these sorts of cases, and I'm afraid, with the best will in the world, my gut is saying this is probably some practical joke that got out of hand.
Here's why he's an expert, all right? Expert on UFOs, unexplained phenomena, and conspiracy theories. He's an expert in investigated UFOs for the UK Ministry of Defense. He's the author of Open Skies, Closed Minds. Okay. So, you know how newscasts will have, here's our expert witness on why we think this is a hoax, right? So this is really, let's keep in mind, this is an opinion piece, really. It's opinion news, and it's interesting that News Nation advertises themselves, or that like we're unbiased. I think they wanted to be like the Walter Cronkite of news reporting, and but here this segment is definitely taking a slant based on this on Nick Pope's, author of Open Skies, Closed Minds, opinion. So let's just keep that in mind.
And a hoax, an attempt to generate some sort of viral video, social media clicks, something like that. And you don't have to be that sophisticated with that, because in the 24/7 news media world with social media, rumor will do the rest. So you just got to plant the seeds, and all the work will be done for you. I think the fact that they've gone into hiding may just simply represent the fact that maybe the cops are a little bit annoyed. It's like, hey, there's genuine crime we've got to do. If there's the suggestion that police time has been wasted, you want to keep your head down.
I'm a healthy skeptic about all of it, but for the fact that the police said that they seemed legitimate, they seemed genuinely afraid, and the timing is sort of magical if you think about it. Right before they called 911, the meteor came screaming through the sky, if it was in fact a meteor. So they would have had to have timed out this hoax and have been ready to go at a moment's notice, and been some of the most Oscar-worthy actors out there.
Yeah, I mean, let's think about this. She says, I want to key in on the word, it's kind of magical. That this happened. Yeah, it is. I mean, like, it's like, wow, well, that's a coincidence. We have a military high-level whistleblower coming out saying that he is aware of documents and proof, although he can't show the smoking gun. And then all of a sudden we have this news report and sensation. And again, I am wondering if, not again, because this is like a different point, so I don't know why I said the word again, but I said this is kind of this is a biased opinion. This is just calling this a hoax, not really basing it on fact. He's an expert. He's done his conspiracy theory work, blah, 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 blah. She's reiterating, you know what, I really think this might be real. So is this a way for this media outlet to create a level of controversy? Everything has to have controversy around it. Maybe this is the kind of segment that this is attempting to achieve.
Does any of that factor in when you do these investigations, just in terms of the credibility of the reporters?
Yeah, actually it does. I think people can be really credible, and some of the best hoaxes in the world, the people are absolutely deadpan about it. Whether it was crop circles back in the day in the UK, where I originally come from, or whatever it is, people can seem really believable. Look, the meteor on the police body cam is genuine. That's a real fireball meteor, and it's a nice find. But I think everything else that's grown up around it is this mixture of
So he's determining, this guy who's not really a scientist or anything like that. Notice that he says that it's a fireball meteor. Like it's a meteorite. Is he a scientist? He's determined, he's telling you what that was in the sky from his opinion. Even though the cops had, a body cam footage of what that was. So I think I don't know. I'm just pausing it just to make these points.
A bit of hoax, bit of wishful thinking, bit of rumor. The timing, sure. Look, but if it wasn't for
and again too, like, he is saying that there are people that have credibility that will look in front of a camera and stoic and say something and it will be believable. I think a lot of us that are in this pocket of YouTube where we talk about UFOs or we explore the topic of UFOs, we've seen those people. We know those people. A lot of us have been calling out those people and, finding that the things that they're saying are not true and they're fabricating stories. maybe they're saying something that's true, but they've gone out of their way to like throw in a lot of disinformation in their journalism, right? Or their statements or their testimonies. I mean, any of the UFO people that have come forward, like say Captain Mark Richards, well, he's in prison. That's really he's really hard to be. But let's talk about Captain Randy Kramer. It's just his testimony. You know, we're still in many ways just listening to people. You know, Corey Good claim he has contact with blue chicken aliens. You know, we don't, like, again, none of these guys that come forward really have the smoking gun, which not even David Grusch has presented yet. So, or the Pentagon, there's just basically a whistleblower who is saying, yeah, these things exist. They need to come out. You know, let's get the evidence. But we still haven't seen that real evidence yet.
The fact that the David Grusch story had hit this week, we probably wouldn't even be having this conversation. Hoaxes are pulled all the time, but it's only very rarely that you kind of hit the mother lode, and it's the perfect time for it. They had a little bit of skill, a little bit of luck. I really apologize to them if this is wrong. If there really were 8-foot-tall aliens in their backyard, I will eat my hat.
Well, we'll all eat our hats if the so-called video that they told their reporters that they spoke with exists. No one has seen it, but if it exists, but that would put an end to a lot of this, hopefully. I suppose, like, I have never really seen an alien investigation. So what happens after someone says, aliens are in my yard? Like, what's the next step? Who arrives? And what are the questions like, and who are the people that come?
Well, I guess when I was doing this for the British government, the Ministry of Defense had the lead. Occasionally, the cops would be the first on the scene. But really what you would look to do is interview the witnesses, recover any evidence you could. Like, you know, we've heard a lot about these marks on the ground. Well, if something really had landed, maybe there'd be something like radioactivity levels, and you'd want to take a Geiger counter there. You'd want to take some samples of the soil, the sand, whatever the surface is. You'd also want to check radar to see if anything was picked up. But the key to this is the witnesses. And frankly, if they are making it up, get them in a room, put them under a bit of pressure, turn up the heat a little bit and say, if this is a hoax, you're in big trouble. And 9 times out of 10, if that's the case, the thing will unravel.
Oh, I would love to be a fly on the wall for that investigation and that interrogation. Just lastly, what would you like to see? You know, put your old hat back on, working for the UK Ministry of Defense, investigating these kinds of things, Mulder and Scully-like. What would you like to see in this particular case?
Oh, I'd like to see the radar data, but also satellites. We have such coverage these days. I think if there was anything, we would have tracked something. We've got space tracking radar as well. Science is the key to this. I'd love this to be true, Ashley. I really would, but I suspect it's not. But yeah, science, forensics, more investigation. The truth is out there somewhere.
I just knew you were going to wrap it that way. Nick Pope, thank you so much. It's good to talk to you again. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation.
Okay, so I just thought that was interesting, that there's these reports coming out, and then the very network that, is the very network that broke the story is questioning the Las Vegas story. So I just know, I think that's newsworthy. Oh, hi, Jeff. It's common knowledge aliens have been crossing our borders in droves. Okay. Let me see. Zero is saying, is this U.S. or British press? It's U.S. press. This is U.S. Are you in Britain? Are you in Britain? I love it. I love it when people from Britain tune in. Ha ha ha, Nick Pope. Okay, yeah, that was funny. Okay. Oh yeah, you are from the UK. Yay! I'm gonna make it to the UK someday. I really want to go. Yeah. This was no, you're not in the US. You're in the UK. Well, welcome. Thank you for tuning in all the way from the UK. What time is it there on your end? Just to kind of get a gauge. It's almost about to be 12 noon here in California on the PDT time. All right, so. Also, I want to turn you guys on to a poll I'm taking. I'm going to go to my, and I'm going to show another video. So hang out. I'm going to get to the religious take on it. I'm just showing you the different takes of what's happening. What other people are. What news sources are reporting, and then what we're reporting here on YouTube, and also what the religious reaction is to it all. So I'm going to go to my community page here because I have my poll up, and I want to share. I guess I'll just share the screen really quick so you can see it. It's on my community here at Not My Rabbit Hole. There's my channel. Whoops. Damn it. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm going into Creative Studio now. You click on just one thing and you end up like in the wrong spot. I'm like, come on. Don't do that. All right. 7:55 p.m. Okay. So it's not it's not, I was wondering, I was thinking maybe you were 12 hours apart from us, but it's tomorrow though. No, you're today still, right? It's June 13th. Yeah. So you're just a few hours ahead of us. Evening already. Okay. So I'm going to go to my community and then I'm going to take it down to, this is the video that I told you that if you want to watch the full interview of David Grusch, I posted it on my community page. So, do you believe UFO whistleblower David Charles Grusch? Yes or no? So far, I've had 21 votes, and 24% believe him, and 76% do not at this point in time. So, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to click on this. Let me see. Well, you know what? I'll just share my community page with you. That way, it's like the second one up. All right. Share. Yeah. So, I have an ongoing vote going on. I'm going to put it in the chat if you want to go ahead. Yeah, you're 5 or 6 hours back. Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's not so bad. I think when we go to Hawaii here, if we fly to Hawaii, I think Hawaii is 4 hours ahead of us. So Hawaii is part of the United States, but it is, an island that we ended up getting, but we're making an agreement with, but we can, anyway. La da 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 da. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to go to a religious take on or spiritual take, like a Christian take, basically, on what's going on. There's and again, I'm sourcing fair use. There's a KJ Osborne, and I'm kind of afraid this isn't really going to even stay up. But he did a video. Again, I'm going to just show parts of it, called The AI Transhuman Alien Invasion Upon Us, 2023. I like his channel. So, oh, you're born in Lithuania. Although I was born in Europe. Vilnius, Lithuania. I probably said that wrong. Wow. You're, well, very cool. All right. So I'm gonna share this video. And here we go.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually we're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
Well, the 8 News Now investigators obtaining video as officers then responded to the call you just heard. You'll see the officers also saw something in the sky that night, but the big question is, what was it, and is it all connected?
Leave her alone.
It's almost midnight on May 1st when a Las Vegas Metro Police officer's body cam catches this, something flashing low in the sky.
911 emergency.
Minutes later,
there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Someone calls 911 reporting 2 large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm still nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone saw a shooting star. Then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard? Or
they see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video.
Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is my first video. I'm here to tell you what happened to me on May 1st, 2023. I'm trying to explain the best of my abilities. This is not a conspiracy theory. I'm not making this story out for clout or fame. I just want to tell you what happened to me and my family. Here's a Ring camera video. You can hear the bang. This is around the neighborhood. So here's the video. So when that happened, the only thing I can see in the backyard is a tall creature, probably around 8, 10 feet tall, very thin. So I called my dad. He went to the backyard and he saw the same thing, the same creature I saw.
¡Ay! Permisor! Calmungarela, me canceles var eso. Kylo, Cherro, que chica. Kylo, Cherro.
Hey guys, it's KJ from The Scariest Movie Ever. The news clip you just saw was from May 1st, 2023. It's about a week ago. And then it was followed up by a clip from one of the people who actually witnessed the event. For around 10 years, myself and many others have been warning of this very thing. Many of us began to wonder a long time ago, why is it that we're seeing so much of this programming in our films and our television? It has to do with aliens and UFOs and contact.
For the very first time, the world is about to hear from a former high-level U.S. intelligence officer who says the government...
See, I mentioned that in my Soy Taco show, and I was just kind of talking randomly. I go, we have been, it's almost, there's a theory that we've been primed. There's so many, we've been indoctrinated into the folklore and the stories of extraterrestrials and alien life.
Has some of the unidentified craft in its possession. He is revealing these exclusive details about the secret government program. In recent years, Congress starting an official U.S. government unidentified aerial phenomena task force, recently renamed the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, or AARO. And now in a News Nation exclusive, David Grusch, an Air Force veteran, former member of that task force and veteran of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, is formally blowing the whistle on secrets he says no one has ever shared publicly before.
The UAP task force was refused access to a broad crash retrieval program.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
We have spacecraft from another species.
We do, yeah.
How many?
Quite a number.
You're kidding.
No. I thought it was totally nuts, and I thought at first I was being deceived. It was a ruse. People started confiding in me. They approached me. I have plenty of current and former senior intelligence officers that came to me, many of which I knew almost my whole career, that confided in me they were a part of a program. They named the program. I've never heard of it. And they told me, based on their oral testimony, and they provided me documents and other proof, that there was, in fact, a program that the UAP task force was not read into.
Grusch alleges the U.S. government has recovered non-human craft for decades. He's filed a whistleblower complaint saying he gave what he calls the classified proof to Congress and the Intelligence Community Inspector General.
I think it's absolutely fascinating. I hope it's true. The tagline of the X-Files was, "I want to believe." I am a skeptic, but I would love to be persuaded. And if this actually is evidence of extraterrestrial life, it'll be the biggest news story of all time.
Right. I mean, beyond landing on the moon.
Notice, isn't that the same lady that did the interview of the guy who was debunking it, right? So, I mean, granted, she's unbiased, it's supposedly, right? She's just getting different opinions and takes, but it is the same journalist that I just showed earlier.
It's so sort of earth-shattering. And for somebody who sort of lived in this world for the better part of a decade, do you feel you have a greater understanding of it, or maybe just a different hope?
I think I do have a greater understanding of it. I think most of us who wrote for the X-Files tended to be much more Agent Scully than Agent Mulder. I think you kind of had to be a bit of a skeptic to write the show because you're always trying to persuade Agent Scully that it was real, right? So you needed that kind of skeptical posture to do it. But I think I was humbled by all the people I met who claimed to have been abducted by aliens or to have seen ghosts or to have experienced other supernatural phenomena. And it wore down my skepticism to the point that I do think there's something to it.
What do you think this means now for the notion of mystery, the notion of science fiction, the notion of what you do for a living? If this story actually pans out, how are we changed?
I think it would change everything in ways that people don't fully appreciate yet. And I think, as you said, I spent, a decade really thinking about this deeply, because in those days, we did 24 hours a year of a television show. It was a lot. And, to me, it was significant that Agent Scully was a Catholic, a character of faith. She was a scientist, but she believed in God. Agent Mulder did not. And in a way, his search for aliens was like trying to prove God exists. And there actually was one scene where Scully says, you can't do that. That's what God is. You need to take God on faith. And I think to some degree, for a lot of people, aliens are like trying to prove there's a God. And if you could, that would have profound effects on everything, on morality, religion.
Just remember that we are in the beast system. If you're living here on this earth at any time,
okay, I'm gonna pause it here for a second, but I'm gonna continue a little bit more and then skip towards the end of this video, just to kind of recap on it. But I noticed some stuff that Daz is saying, and Zero Affinity. So Daz is in the UK. He's 5 to 6 hours ahead. And Zero Infinity is from Europe Vilnius and Lithuania. I probably didn't say that right. Vilnius, Lithuania. Okay. Daz says, "Hey Terry, I know where there's a possible photo of the bean. I'm looking straight at the person taking the photo. Looks genuine. Who knows for sure? I'll try to find you the link. That would be great. Yeah. That would be great. I should make you a moderator. Soft disclosure for years. Yeah, if you find the link, go ahead and post it on in the comments of this video. And I love to take a look at it. Okay, I'm going to go a bit further with this, and let's continue.
You're in the devil's domain. But the Bible warned us of a time that would come where this beast system, this modern Babylon, would be destroyed. The Bible also warned us that in the end times, Satan himself would manifest here in the earth, in the flesh, and take full control of the system for a few years. And that right there, my friends, is exactly where we are now. Even if you have no spiritual discernment, even if you don't know Jesus Christ, you can just look around at the world today and you know that something's wrong. Something's going wrong. Something's off. All of this inversion, all of this flipping of things upside down is straight from the devil himself. This system more and more is reflecting his character. It's reflecting who he is. And that's why more and more as a Christian, you're feeling no longer that this is your home. It's changing before your very eyes. You no longer feel like you belong here because you don't. Aliens are demons. Aliens are also lesser gods, or Elohim, gods with a small g, fallen angels. Right now, humanity is on the precipice of the great reveal. But just keep in mind, of course, we're not going to get the full truth.
And I'm showing this because this also is a narrative that is in the UFO community here online. You know, that this is another explanation of what we're looking at.
They will introduce us to these beings, but they're going to tell us that these beings are from other planets through extraterrestrials. These things are a demonic deception. They will be used to destroy any faith in the Lord God above.
And I want to point out, and I wish I had actually, after I started this video, I wished I had found that little sound bite of David Grusch's explanation of that. They may not be coming from other planets, but because of physics, and he was like talking a bunch of jargon, right? But that they might actually be in some sort of physicality right next to us and coming through that way rather than traveling from, say, Pluto or something.
These are replacement gods that are on the way. These are replacement gods that humanity is about to meet. And the Lord will send them a great deception, a grand delusion. Satan is taking full control of this system now.
Okay, so I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit here, because let me see. He goes through a lot of stuff here. Okay, I want to get to the AI part. Okay, let's go to the AI part. Okay, here.
Been noticing the beast system truly accelerating is through the use of artificial intelligence. I've made several videos on artificial intelligence being connected to demonic spirits, and I'm not the only one. I know many of us draw that connection. And this isn't just coming up with something in our imaginations. There have been plenty of examples laid before us, especially recently, that show us a literal connection between artificial intelligence and demonic activity. This is why artificial intelligence is being unleashed upon all of us across the entire world in these days, in these end times, right in time for the tribulation. Because during the tribulation, it's going to be total control, a total control grid. the Internet of Bodies, the Internet of Things. Any human left on this earth will either have to become a part of that system, become a part of that Borg, that satanic mindset, that satanic hive mind.
All right, I was like hoping like let's go a little bit faster here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Now, this is a new product by Apple coming out, by the way.
Introducing Apple Vision Pro. Vision Pro is a new kind of computer that augments reality by seamlessly blending the real world with the digital world. It's the first Apple product you look through and not at. Vision Pro feels familiar, yet it's entirely new. You can see, hear, and interact with digital content just like it's in your physical space. And you control Vision Pro using the most natural and intuitive tool, your eyes, hands, and voice. With Vision Pro, you're no longer limited by a display. Your surroundings become an infinite canvas. Use your apps anywhere and make them any size you want. Capture photos and videos and relive your most important memories in an entirely new way. Watch your movies, shows, and sports, and immerse yourself in games on a giant screen surrounded by spatial audio. And connect with people as if you're sharing the same space.
All right, this is what it looks and sounds like to attend a mass led by artificial intelligence. Hundreds of churchgoers attending that service during Germany's Convention of Protestants. The 40-minute service was put together by a 29-year-old theologian and philosopher from the University of Vienna. He says 98% of that mass was the product of ChatGPT, but the congregation said the avatar just didn't have the warmth that you're used to, right?
And here's another really interesting sign of the times of all of this stuff really manifesting out in the open is Diablo 4, the campaign behind Diablo 4.
Okay, so I just thought that was really mind-blowing because it's a combination of a lot of sci-fi movies. You know, what was that one movie with Keanu Reeves where, you know, his family got killed and then he created clones, and then he's like, you know, in his office going through, you know, using the internet by just moving his hands around. You know, we've seen that already in futuristic movies, and now it's there. The fact that you can, you know, like now I just did artificial reality. I just did like a war, one of those, you know, like one of those games, because like they're wanting to add virtual reality to tutoring, and because I tutor, it might be something that we start to do with students, where maybe we're in a classroom that's completely virtual reality. You know that you've got, you know, Mark Zuckerberg with the Facebook glasses, the Ray-Bans that he tried to push a while back that failed pretty much, but the whole metaverse being in place, or ways that even artists can profit in the metaverse is, you know, I believe it's been pretty much a futuristic business plan. So for now, to Apple to have the goggles and, you know, make it so, I mean, heck, you know, a huge big screen TV that's absolutely virtual that you can watch whatever you want on Netflix or HBO Max or whatever you have. Hell yeah, sign me up. I mean, that means I don't have to take up physical space by, you know, buying a big flat screen TV. I could, you know, you could even create your own reality that you're sitting in a movie theater with other people participating in their avatars, and you would be all together in a virtual reality. That is really changing the way that humans might actually relate to each other. It reminds me that, what was that movie? It had Bruce Willis in it. And it's like they had these simulated bodies that these fake robot, you know, fake bodies that they could, you know, go out and do whatever they wanted in. Look, that body looked much better than the body that they really have. Think about the types of apps now that you can put on your face that makes you look a little bit better, but it's very realistic, and it's just a little bit of a better version of you. You know, people were all, look, even the let me stop the share here for a minute. This picture that I have up on my on my app, this avatar that I'm using while doing this live stream was done by AR. That was a photo that I snapped of myself waiting for the shuttle to take me to the university to go to take my classes. And yet that right there is the AR version of me. So, you know, we've all been sharing these oh, isn't it fun? Isn't it fun? Look what AI made me look like. And sometimes, you know, there's some people that the AI makes them even look like they were androids, or take their body, make them look robotic. And there's a lot of these things that are really starting to happen. So it seems like we could just have a very minimal existence and maybe even be working in the, like, what we consider the virtual workforce. And these are concepts that are starting to happen right now. I mean, probably within the next 6 months to a year, my prediction is that we're going to have a huge leap in an alternate world. And, you know, if everything starts to change that way, like, for example, our banking and this and that is more online and everything, you know, we just take our phone and we have our card on it. You can just scan it. You know, all of the QR codes and all this kind of stuff, that's all integrated into our educational system, and the way that we get around, you know, it's just like being on Facebook. You know, if you're not on Facebook and you're not doing branding, you really don't really have a business as a company, because social media plays such a huge part in the marketing, the current marketing of anything. The interaction that we have, you know, that if once we go into a virtual reality, you're basically not going to have a job, or you might, you know, you could get to that level that in order to nourish yourself in the physical realm and have a physical life, you're going to have to go into the artificial life to do it. I mean, I'm just theorizing, but, you know, it looks like, I mean, to me, it looks like that's the direction that it's heading. So I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit more. There's another part that I want you to grasp onto in this. This is about stuff that's going on in New York. I really don't want to go into that level, but let's go to about right here and see what's going on.
Which makes the placement of this massive demon the message.
Okay, I'm going to still talking about that. Okay, yeah, let's go to this part. This is kind of interesting. No, actually, let me go past this. This is like a church that's got demonic symbolism in it. Oh yeah, I want to get to like kind of right around here, because yeah. Now, this is the opening of a Taylor Swift concert, is what you're looking at here.
Guys, we are so close to tribulation. We're so close. Everything's speeding up quickly. All these things that I was seeing.
So, like this happening is considered, a marker of the end times from a Christian point of view. That's why I'm showing this, and I'm also showing how the how a musician can use those end times and formulate them into their stage act. So why is that? Why is the music industry like doing this? So mainly what the beginning of her concert is showing is that there's a rapture happening where some people are going to be taken off planet. You'll see this. It'll continue.
Over the last 15 years that were coming for us, well, it's here now. We don't recognize this place anymore. It's changing quickly. You don't want to be here. This isn't your home, and it's not going to get any better. It's time to let go of this world, get saved, and go back home to be with your true Father, the Lord God.
A small elite that pushes things in its own interests, even if it doesn't benefit the vast majority of the population. This has happened so many times previously in history, and it's probably going to happen again. One of the biggest dangers to the planet today is this technological utopia, because probably for the elite it will work. If bad comes to worst, and when the flood comes, the scientists will build a Noah's Ark for the elite, leaving the rest to drown, the rest of the people and then the rest of the ecosystem. But they are likely to be able to construct this technological Noah's Ark, which is probably what much of the elite is counting on. You have a small elite that pushes things in its own interests, even if it doesn't benefit the vast majority of the population. This has happened so many times previously in history, and it's probably going to happen again.
All right, so I wanted you to hear that last little tag on what that guy said, which I think is interesting conversation going on, and it goes with a lot of the different theories that are happening out there. Okay, so to wrap everything up, this show is just an observation and contemplation about the things that are going on surrounding the extraterrestrial spacecraft conversation. So I'm not saying that I'm taking one opinion over the other. I think it's just really important to kind of have an open discussion and look at everything that's going on right now. That's my intent of this particular video. I do have, if you are, go to my community page here at Not My Rabbit Hole with Terry Joyce. Oh, that's really nice. Hi, Anthony. Nice to see you here. That's a nice thing to hear too. Go to my page. Do you believe UFO whistleblower David Grusch? It's just an ongoing poll that I'm doing. Also, let you guys know that this channel is monetized. So if you ever want to give me any super chats or a super chat on a video, it would be much appreciated. And thank you for your kind donation. I'm going to do like a little banner of where you might be able to support my efforts and the research and the content that I'm providing on Not My Rabbit Hole. And that's pretty much it. That's the scoop on the show for today. And so let's see. This is it. You know, what is that Chinese saying? You know, may you live in interesting times. And I think that used to be. I've heard that was maybe even a curse, but somebody did. Your enemies say, "May you live in interesting times." But I think we do live in interesting times. And it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be, well, listen to me. It's going to be fun to figure out what's going on. I'd like to see that there's an element of fun to all of this. So I'm going to close out with a little bit of epidemic sound. I'm hoping to be able to do more content this summer. I am taking an astronomy class, which I think is very apropos as part of my degree. And I'm also going to be tutoring this summer. You know, I'm signed up to tutor this summer. So, darn it, where did that go? So I'm excited about that. And I'm hoping to be able to still have enough time to spend more time creating content. And that's the plan. There's also a Not My Rabbit Hole blog site, which I'll be writing more on as well. Bye, Daz. Thanks for tuning in from the UK and being here today on this conversation. So, yay. Go to my playlist. And I'm hoping maybe I can have Anthony come on at the panel too this weekend, you know, or at some point I'd love to do a show and have this conversation with Anthony. But I'm hoping Stephen Cambion can really go ahead and join. So I don't know, let's try this song out.
If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. Scratching my nutsack, dropping rap like rap. I stepped outside of my show and got robbed by one of them thug cats. Hopped on stage and someone yelled out, use a rag. If I wanted to hear a I beat it like a punch bag. Fun fact, people jump me like bounce castles. All I gotta do for it to happen is go to 10 and count backwards. Hearing the crowds laugh and said about my dad's past, and someone walked past, they laugh and said, damn man, you're a sad bastard. A tad act with misfit, vagabond and miscreant. So confusing people's contemptuous glance for actually feeling it. Not narcissistic, just part of the pot you pissed in, part of ways with them and left not a drop of wisdom. Been caught slipping, the cardinal smart victim, the convicts, criminals, and cogs in the cop system. Once thought I was cool in my market brand, skinny jeans, till a chick pulled them down and nicknamed my mini-me. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. In my underpants, I'm staring at the ceiling, debating boxer brief merits. Watching parent MCs copy M&M's of parents. It's apparent I'm destructive with the thoughts that I've been sharing. I'm a tad awkward in circles. My social cues considered barren, narrow-minded, and criminal intentions when I mention that my pen game's the only way I'll make it to a pension. Kamikazation of the problem in correlation with the root of all evil. At the tree of Eden, tearing at its fruit is for my people. Consumed with inner demons for my cook. Shooting hoop dreams, praying that they breaking through the roof. It's a middle finger if you talking, but never do a damn thing. Take a swing, man, I'm crazy and confused and deranged. Considered clinically insane, but where's the proof? I'm a bastard in the booth, captain of a sinking groove, riding out the waves of boat, overcoming what you do. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the. If I had $1 for every time that my life took a sour turn, I'd be rich and rolling baller and hollering at your girl. I'd be making little money and spending it like I'm rich. I'd be making bad decisions and thinking that I'm the.
All right. See you guys later.